Welcome to the Underground.
Turn me up, bitch!
My Little Underground with Peter A.
It's My Little Underground. I'm Peter A. Make sure you're listening anywhere you get podcasts, and you can follow me on socials at MLU Pod. And if you go to my website, peteraradio.com, there's a bunch of playlists there for you, including little-ass songs, long-ass songs, and 2011-ish, a brand new playlist I cooked up based on some of the albums that I discussed on the most recent episode of My Little Underground 2011-ish. So check that out on peteraradio.com. And we're halfway through June. You know what that means? Well, we're not halfway through. We're just getting into June. We're halfway through the year. So that means I have to get my big red pen out for my midterms. That's right. This week is part 1 of my yearly midterm review of the music of the year. And we're doing singles and EPs this week. And in a couple of weeks, we'll do full-length albums. Very, very exciting. So let's get this started with some of the best singles of 2021 so far. Oh, this is a good one. This is a very, very good one. Miss Jessie Ware. She has a new tune out called Please, and this is the first single from the deluxe edition of last year's What's Your Pleasure. Now, this song is simple in the best way possible. It is a massive club banger and some of the best backing vocals around, and I'm a huge sucker for great background vocals. There's some great call and response action in the chorus that's just totally infectious. Mr. Westside Gunn, Julia Lang. This is a 1-minute burst of great street rap charisma that kind of leaves you wanting a whole lot more. At least, that's for me. And this tune kind of fades out mid-rap. I love that technique, and I discussed this on 2011 Anticipated Part 3, and Wu-Tang Scary Hours kind of has the same technique, and at the end of Ghostface verse, the song just kind of fades out, and I just kind of want more, because as we know, Ghostface is absolutely incredible, and Westside Gunn also incredible, and he does a great job leaving me wanting a lot more. So hopefully we get Hitler Wears Hermes Part 8 sooner than later, before the year wraps up. And this tune, Julia Lang, named after the fashion entrepreneur, and she's also featured in the video as well. So be on the lookout for Hitler Wears Hermes 8. I believe this will be the final installment of the mixtape series. Hopefully we have a lot. Well, Westside Gunn, he's very prolific. Lots of music, so I'm sure he has so much more planned beyond the Hitler Wear Hermes series. Moving on to Yola, Diamond Studded Shoes, and I'm very excited to announce that this is the first single from her brand new album Stand By Yourself, coming to us July 30th on Dan Arabak's Easy Eye Sound label. This is classic Yola, boisterous country soul, embracing what we have in common as humans. Well, actually, I shouldn't say so, because Yola's first album was a little more subtle, which is good. It's not negative, but I'm glad she's taking a lot more a lively approach to this, because a lot more concerts are being announced. So I'm sure that Yola wants to bring some lively energy to her stage presence, and this song definitely will help with that, I believe. The Lindas, Racist Sexist Boy. Proud to say that these ladies had just signed to the legendary punk label Empath, and they recently went viral they performed this song, Racist Sexist Boy, live, and I think it was at the LA Public Library. And this song was written about a terrible racism experience of the drummer Mia, who's only 10 years old, by the way. A boy told her that his dad told him to stay away from Chinese people and backed away when Mia said that she was Chinese. And this tune is just a raw, simple expression of justified anger of racism. And it has a very incredible howling refrain, shouting at this racist, sexist boy. It's great stuff. And anyone that's experienced racism firsthand will live vicariously through this tune. Very, very good stuff. Now, if you heard at least the last few, well, at least the second version, no, the first installment of my 2021 anticipated series here on My Little Underground, you would know I have a big appreciation for Lice, which is the group of Aesop Rock Homeboy Sandman, and they were formed as Lice to tribute the great MF Doom, and this song is very simple, just 2 long verses from Aesop and Homeboy. They're just talking about how MF Doom became MF Doom, first starting off as Devil of X with KMD, discussing his many aliases, including Victor Vaughn, King Ghidorah, I think I'm pronouncing that right. And Homeboy Sandman, in his verse, he talks about sending imposter Dooms on stage in place of him. MF Doom is quite a mysterious figure. And I love at the end of Sandman's verse, he pledges to keep his computer on caps lock forever. If you're a big fan of the Mad Villainy album, you'll know exactly what he's alluding to. Moving on to EPs. We got, well, actually first, before I get into some of my favorite EPs so far this year, there is some exciting news on an EP front. My Bloody Valentine just announced that their early EPs have been put on streaming services. But before this came out, there were some that were on streaming services. I believe Glider was and Tremolo. But some of their other EPs that have been very popular amongst fans, including myself, like You Made Me Realize, Feed Me With Your Kiss, and their collection of rare tracks pre-Loveless. But what I'm really excited for is that the 10-minute version of Glider from the EP of the same name that came out in 1990, the full 10-minute version was just on YouTube floating around. And now we have the 10-minute version on streaming services. Oh my God, this is 10 minutes of pure noise gold. It is the epitome of beautiful noise. And I believe Kevin Shields has been doing a round of interviews because they recently signed to Domino too. They're going to reissue some of their earlier work too, including Loveless, which I'm very excited for. And pre-COVID, Kevin announced that they have 2 albums on the way. So hopefully we get those. Kevin has said we might get them by the end of the year. Look, to me, all I ask is you put out some new albums, you go on tour, and once I see you guys on tour, you can disappear for 10 years again. I just want to be able to see you live before you go away again. That's all. Now let's get into some of my favorite EPs of 2021 so far. I'm going to start with former guest of the show, Lunarette, their debut EP, Claire de Lunarette. And this group is a reformation of the group Ginger Lice. And this EP sort of has some Ginger Lice aesthetics, but it's more club, dream pop like. And I love this direction. I really do. It's very, very danceable. And it's very unpredictable in the best way, because some tunes start off one way, like, this is almost shoegaze-like. And then you get some trip-hops-like drums towards the end that totally fucks you up in the best way possible. But this is really good stuff. Yeah, sounds really good on tape, too. Moving on to Sofia Kourtesis. Kourtesis? Damn, I'm butchering her name. She put out a brand new EP, Frezia Magdalena. Very, very good stuff. And she's Berlin-based, and she was born in Lima, Peru. And this EP is just sweet and tender house music. Very pleasant to dance to. That's kind of meant to be enjoyed outside of like the club atmosphere. Because usually you'd think, or at least for me, you think, dance-friendly music, oh, it's just meant to be in a club. But this tune is, you could put this on a beach or anywhere, or driving down, going on a late night drive. It's very, very good stuff. Especially by your side. There's a lot of lightning quick vocal samples appearing on top of each other with a beautiful crescendo of a bass section. This tune is about 6 minutes long, and it it rewards you for waiting the expansive length. Very, very good stuff here. Lord Ward, the Virtual Bison EP, and this is the project of Phil Ward, and you might know him from the group Low Fidelity All Stars, and he's got a tape out on Oceanator's Plastic Miracles label. Lots of sample-heavy, explosive dance tunes on this here EP, and it kind of reminds me of David Burns and Brian Eno's My Life in the Bush of Ghosts. There's only 4 tunes on this EP, and they're all very different from each other. They have their own unique experience, and it's not just pulsating bass lines, which there's nothing wrong with that, but each tune here gives you just your own unique experience, and it's very all sample heavy, and it really does remind me of that Brian Eno and David Byrne album in the best way possible. And I can't stop listening to this. I listened to this in the past week like 2 or 3 times. Absolutely amazing. Kero Bonito. That's right. They got a brand new EP, Civilization 2. And for the most part, this project is pretty much what you would expect from KKB. Some boisterous, bubbly electropop tunes. However, there is an extended cut as the closer here. Now, if you know Kero Bonito very well, you know that they rarely ever go beyond the 3-minute threshold. You're lucky to get a 4-minute song out of this group. But here, on the Civilization 2 EP, we have Well Rested. It goes way beyond the 7-minute mark, and it's adventurous. There's multiple passages. Basically, this is Kero Bonito completely leaving their comfort zone. And it's not just 7 minutes of repetitive nonsense. There's a rhyme and reason to everything. And I absolutely love it. It makes me very excited to see what they have coming. Because, I really liked Bonito Generation. That was 2016. It's my favorite album from them. It's very energetic. It's fun, bubbly. Some of their later work, not as bubbly, not as fun. Still good, but just not, I like fun. So now we have adventurous Kero Bonito. So that would be very, very interesting. So I'm really anticipating to see what else they got cooked up for 2021 and beyond. DOS. She put out 4 new hit songs. It's an EP collection of 4 great 2021 singles that she's put out so far this year. And this is her first release since 2014. And I really love the first track, Puppy, and the closer, On Your Mind. And both of these tunes have vocals that put me in a trance, that it's almost like these tunes, they want me to relax, but they also want me to dance too. It's very interesting. A lot of juxtaposition here. So I'm looking forward to seeing what DOS has in store for the remainder of the year and beyond as well. It's so interesting that a lot of the EPs I talked about are very dance-centric, which is kind of cool. I guess a lot of artists, especially some here in New York, they just want to dance. They really are itching to dance. A lot of cabin fever going on, so I guess people are itching to get back on the dance floor, which I'm not mad at. I'm very excited about. So this is going to do it for part 1 of my midterms here on My Little Underground. In a couple of weeks, we'll do part 2, full-length albums. So get ready for that. This is My Little Underground. I'm Peter A. Make sure you're listening anywhere you get podcasts. And you can visit my website, Peter A Radio, for some great playlists like little ass songs, long ass songs, 2011-ish, and so much more. Later days.